to you by Big Bird. And the letter...
And the letter, Bruno. Did I hit something bad?
Did you?
Okay, no, I don't think I did.
So...
Hi, how's it going? Licky, lickety, licky, lick, lick, lick. Oh, are you happy? Are you happy to be here?
Good boy, thank you. Now on drink.
Public on, there we are. Good, good, good. A little discombobulated today, but hey, how's it going? I think we're live. I think we're here.
Are we?
I think it's happening.
Oh, good morning. Well, afternoon. Good
Afternoon? Good afternoon?
Yeah, it's officially
It's
been
officially?
for 3 minutes now.
Right, 3 minutes now.
Maybe a little late.
It's all good. But there we are. Christopher Ortiz says hi. Hello back. Sarcastic, Pixpastic. Yo, it's the guy that taught me half of what I know about props. Hello!
Hello.
I'm half that guy.
Half that
or
guy.
something like that. No, he said it differently like that. I taught him half what he knows about his
Okay.
props. Do you have wings that go here?
Yeah. He actually does, believe it or not. He has little fairy wings.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. Totally believe that.
Yes.
But hello, so it's Monday, in case you hadn't noticed, and well,
The dog's with us.
The dogs totally noticed. So the dogs let us know that it's a streaming day, and so we brought them along. And so welcome to the Bruno and Toby streaming show. I'm their guest host Odin, and this is also their guest host Felicia.
Apparently, I'm a little rude of a guest host. Ignoring him. He is not going to let us, is he?
No, he's not. This has been the thing the last couple streams. If he's not here, he barks, and the microphone can't not pick him up.
See, Toby, he's very well behaved.
Yes.
But he will not let me take Bruno.
Yes.
Toby and Bruno, they have to come together
Nope.
now.
I don't have 3 plugged in right, so I went to black. It's like, oh, where's camera 3? Oh, I don't have the HDMI plugged into camera 3. It's the big cable. That one. So take it out of that camera and plug it into the one that's on the tripod in the same spot.
Okay.
It's just an HDMI cable, the slightly smaller attachment. It's a mini HDMI. You know, that format that nobody uses anymore. Oh yeah, there it is.
Did that work?
That worked. That's Toby. We could probably tilt the camera a little bit, but there's Toby. Hey, we got a lot of activity happening on the chat. We got Nicole King. Hey, Odin, thanks for being on my podcast. You're welcome, Nicole. It was a lot of fun. So, for those of you who didn't know, on Friday, Nicole and I did a quick podcast for her podcast, Jack of All Trades. I don't know when that's being posted publicly, because I know it was live streamed, but I think there's some after stuff happening. But thank you. Nicole, go ahead and put the URL up. I'll try and watch to make sure that I can approve for it to go through. Last time, they wanted a moderator or somebody else to say it was okay to have URL flash through. So I'll click yes before the stream ends this time. But hey, so that was great. Punid Ramesh. Wow.
Which one? Pundit?
Punid? 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 Anyway, I'm sorry, Punid, but yes, Odin is my legal name. It's actually my birth name. It is 100% my name. So yeah, it's not an assumed name. And being out on the west coast of the U.S., you would think, all the hippies out here, I would have met another Odin. Nope.
You have not?
I have never met another person whose first name is actually Odin. I've met a guy whose last name was Odin with a different spelling.
Okay. And you met Owen.
And I've met tons of Owens.
Yeah, but no Odin.
No Odin, nope.
Okay. I've met plenty of Felicias, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like I know a lot of Joes. But I think I know more Joes than I know Felicias.
Well, yeah.
John Farstrom is asking, what store do I get my EVA foam from? Well, it depends on the EVA foam.
Yes, you have a whole list.
I have a whole list of foam. So the gray foam that I really like, which is the HD foam. That's the
light gray one.
The light gray one. Thank you. The light gray one.
Each shade means something different because they
Yes.
color coordinate certain brands and other ones they don't. But anyway.
and one brand is color coordinated to thickness, yes.
Yes.
So the really light gray stuff I'm always using that I can use with a pencil is called HD foam, and I buy that from Blick Art Materials. I'm very lucky that there's a Blick just a couple of miles from my studio. In fact, I found out from that store the next closest Blick is in Berkeley, California. I'm in Sacramento, so that's almost an hour and a half, 2 hours away from here.
And I wouldn't drive.
No, I wouldn't drive. I would just order for that.
Yes.
Blick routinely has coupons to get you free shipping. You just have to order a certain amount. And if you're getting enough foam to do, if you're going to do a small thing, you may not make it's like $35 usually, maybe a little more. But if you're doing a cosplay, it's easy to buy 3 rolls of foam and hey, look, free shipping. So that's that one. I go to Harbor Freight Tools a lot. That's another store I walk into. That's where I get the puzzle mat foam. That's what I call it. It's this type of foam. It's the floor mat stuff. You can get it at Home Depot. You can get it at a lot of different places. But this particular gray from Harbor Freight Tools runs $6.99 on sale, $8.99, $9.99 normally, and you get 4 sheets. This is a great beginner. I'm going to cut stuff up, hot glue it together, and call it done foam. This was the workhorse of my channel for the first couple of years until I started buying from another vendor, T&T Cosplay. They do a lot of online orders. They're based out of Texas. Real friendly people. I've actually met them and been to their facility a couple of times. They have a huge variety of sizes, densities. They have that translucent foam that we see Kamui Cosplay use all the time with the LEDs that actually lights up. It starts with a Z. I don't know what it's called. They have cones. They have all the cos tools. So T&T Cosplay's got a lot because they're all about cosplay, and they were one of the first foam vendors that I knew about, and so I wanted to give them credit as being one of the first ones that started doing it, but I could be wrong on that. Where's the dog?
Okay?
Yep, I'm fine. Oh, Toby is.
Yeah, Toby. He's right behind you. Yes.
Yep. So aside from that, the last one, the one that we're actually using with the build here, this stuff, the red stuff, this is called What the Foam, and this is available through Amazon. What the Foam is a very high-end foam. This is a very strong foam. This is a great mixture between foam and Warbler. This when I grind on this with Dremel, it smells like burning rubber, which it does.
It feels like eraser too.
Yeah, it feels like it definitely has the density of a pencil eraser, so it's much stronger. You can make functional straps out of this foam because it'll actually support weight. It won't just tear. Yeah. But that's only available through Amazon. It comes in 3 sizes. Those sizes are color coordinated, so red's the thinnest, black's the middle size, and gray is the thickest at 6 millimeters, so it's 246 millimeter. Those are the primary foams that I use. Aside from that, there's like Strong Pack foam and Craft foam, and you can get the Ayahan foam from Joann's. You can find foam pretty easily, but yeah.
But once you have to get to use it, you get to know which ones you like.
Right. Yeah, and HD foam's absolutely my go-to. It has got the best balance for me of accessibility because I can just go get it. I like the fact that I can use a pencil on it. I don't need to have the silver pen or some of the fancy thing to mark with it. And it's really nice to work with. I don't know how else to put it. So yeah. It doesn't have the compared to the Harbor Freight foam, which is very low density and has a lot of air pockets in it because it's only meant to be stood on. They don't expect you to use it for crafting purposes. So to graduate from that to HD foam is just night and day. It's great. John Farstrom, thank you. Hey, you're welcome. I think that's the person I was just talking to for like 15 minutes. Yep. Hello, Odin and Felicia. I'm painting my Mando costume while watching. Sweet.
Nice.
This is Lego Man 2597. Hello, Lego Man. There we go. Nicole King says the raw video is up, but I'm going to post the edited version tonight on her channel.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so Jack of All Trades is a channel, and we did a podcast. The 15 questions that was asked for. To me, and we went. It was fun. Caleb Stoddard says, "Hey guys, happy Witcher Work in Progress Monday." Yes, happy Witcher Work in Progress Monday. Now, I'm getting into character here, right? I honestly try to be Odin as much as I can, even on camera, even during the live streams. I try to just be me. I don't try to have a persona, but there is an energy level that comes with being on camera. If I was low key and relaxed, like I'd want to be on the couch at home, you'd think I was asleep because the camera makes it look way worse. So there's this like level of go that I kind of seem to do.
You turn on.
Yeah,
for
I
the
turn
camera.
on. And Neil had said that too. You've never met Neil. He was behind the camera when I was at the old facility. And yeah, so I'm doing that. But I lost my place.
I don't know where you were going.
Witcher work in progress. So there's going to come a point in time, sooner than later.
That we're actually going to finish this
We're
thing?
actually going to finish this thing.
Really? Actually, we're getting really close.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if we didn't do everything live on the live stream,
We wouldn't have well done with this.
we would have been so done.
I'm a third of the way through a Godzilla build.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Just kind of powering through it, not stopping in the
Right.
middle, you know? But
Well, powering through it. So if you guys don't know, building something for the camera is yet another level of slowing down.
yes.
Yeah.
Because there's what you see, there's what the camera sees,
Right.
and then there's just kind of getting into your groove and having it finish and going, oh shoot, the camera wasn't on.
Exactly. That's the worst, and that's why I've got a number of cameras set up as safety. Usually they're all pointed at the table, but like here's the one I'm talking to, and then here's another side working camera, and then this camera, which usually has a dog on it. Right now it's the floor. That'll also be a table shot, and here's a table shot, and there's actually a fifth camera off to the side. And when I'm working and in the groove, as you say,
Yeah.
all of them are running. Which means, yeah, I'm creating way too much file that I should have for a simple DIY show. But it's so much easier for me because I'm the only one here. If all the cameras are just going, I don't have to think about the cameras. I let them go and I can do my thing and then I can find my shots later. But, you know, there's an expense to setting up like that.
That's okay. I don't have to build for camera except for this.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
So,
That was my favorite interview at the end of Mythbusters. Adam Savage and Jamie Heineman. And one of the first things Jamie said, he was excited to get to do, to build for himself and not build for the camera.
yeah,
Yeah.
there is definitely.
So, it's Witcher Work in Progress Monday. We're playing with the foam chainmail that Ben Eady had sent us from Foam Armory.
Yes, we're finishing up the last little section of it that we need.
Right, because we've got an example over here.
Yes, we have the runner back, and then there's going to be the other one.
So this is foam chainmail. I'm sorry the camera's not closer. If I go closer, it goes out of focus because the lenses I have. So this is one panel. Is probably the back panel you're saying, and then
Well, just because this stuff is really nice, so it might
Right.
end up being the front.
sure. So as soon as this piece covers this, which it should today,
Yeah,
we'll be able to glue it down.
A few more rows, and we're there.
Okay.
And then
Do you need me to do another sheet, or do you think you have enough?
I think we might end up actually having enough.
Okay.
And then once that's done, then we get to dry brush it and paint it.
Right.
And then we're going to sew this. with
Yeah.
the sewing machine.
Which is cool.
Yeah, right?
Right.
We're going to see if it works. Like, it's
Like-
supposed to work.
Like it's supposed to work. Like I was told it works. I do know it works. I took, for the back of my Mecha Godzilla costume, I used the 4mm What the Foam, which is the black one, and I sewed a zipper to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that zipper isn't under a tremendous load, but it does close the shell up, and it totally works.
Yeah, the biggest issue about sewing foam is you make a perforated edge.
Right.
Where it cuts so nicely or tears so nicely.
If anyone's used stamps, yeah.
So I like to do kind of a larger stitch length so they're not so close together because you have a close stitch length that's up and down and you're really sawing off that
Yeah.
edge.
Done that.
But
I did a big zigzag on the zipper.
yeah, zigzag will help, and then also we're going to have fabric too because there is the vinyl going to be stitched to it, which will give it something. The
So
vinyl.
no, I just
The string,
getting distracted by the
more polka dots.
yeah one of the chainmail polka dots. It looks like a map point from.
It does, but so
Anyway, sorry.
we'll have the vinyl holding things together, so there's just more things, not tearing. But I don't think it's going to be an issue. But we'll find out today for sure.
Oh, good.
Right?
For sure. Is there anything I can directly help you with, or shall I just continue to be slightly loud and obnoxious and talk to the chat box?
You can talk to the chat box, because as soon as this is done, then we get to move on to all the other steps.
Okay, I can do that.
I've been learning that order of operations matters.
It can.
It really does. Sometimes you feel like you can get ahead, but you get ahead and you realize, well, I couldn't have done that because now I have to rip it all out because I have to put this piece glued in underneath all of that. Anyways.
Right.
I've had a long week.
Right? Long weeks. Mine's been doing a little better. So last week I was really crunching and trying to get the chest of the Mechagodzilla build done in one video because that's the plan. The plan being I like to have in one video being one prop or one item, start to finish, it's done. The exception being the big suits. I just like to make the suits into bite-sized bits, and each bite is a complete bite. Nope, it was a part 1. So this Wednesday is going to be part 2. Part 2 is currently in edit, and the suit is done. Joe is airbrushing it, maybe not this very minute, but he's doing the shading and airbrushing like he did on the head and neck before. It's over there.
Yeah. I saw it. It was looking nice.
Thank you. So it's happening. It's getting there, but it's been a really interesting couple of weeks of trying to get this build done that I thought was only going to take 1 week. My time estimation skills are totally out the window.
Well, you also have a standard of quality that you don't like to.
Oh, right.
So,
Okay. Okay, yeah, I could cut corners and make it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
As long as it's done well.
Right.
Because you could just slap it together and call it a day, but
Totally could. I could just cut it out of hot glue it and be done. I could spray it with spray paint, and then it would just crack the first time I put it on. Which I didn't realize how much of a problem that was when I first started doing my channel, and I was just spray painting everything. It's like, oh yeah, ooh.
you kind of learn these things, and then you realize, yeah, it might be slower to get going, but in the long run,
Right.
I'm not going back, I'm not redoing things,
Right, I'm not fixing things.
Yeah.
So let me apologize to everyone that I misled you with all the rattle can spray painting that I had done in the past. That works on props that don't flex. If you've got something that needs to move a little bit or might move a little bit, it'll crack. I didn't think that was true, but it'll crack.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Yes. Eventually.
Dan Does Junk says, very excited for Mechagodzilla progress. Stumpy McGee, who edits your video? My wife does. Upstairs right now editing the video. So I was doing all the editing, all right? It was a one-man show until about a year ago when we went full-time, right? Or I went full-time, but it's, partnership, right? So the two of us are doing it. And so in order to facilitate more build time and less time in front of the computer, my wife started doing the editing and doing some of the post stuff. I still do final polish on it. I still do the writing, and it's just, anyway.
You got some help.
I got some help, and it's great. And the biggest thing that really helped, I'm very visual. And so I would go through and make sure that I had the visual stuff, and I would kind of listen to what I was saying and make sure that I was saying what needed to go with the visual. And I had it in my head because of DIY Prop Shop that I wanted the video shorter. So I had things really kind of compressed and really just flying by. Nope. My wife wants to edit everything to make it look like, or make it sound like it's a conversation, puts way more breath into it, spreads things out a little bit. It's paced so much better, and that's 100%.
So if you guys noticed.
So if you guys noticed, that's you can thank my wife for that. All right. So everyone give me a second here. Nicole King with her trademark all caps. Hey Odin, tell Joe I says hi. So there's that. It's Nicole. Nicole King.
She says hi.
Hello, Nicole. Hey, Starius is on. Starius is a friend of mine from going back to the Play TV days. That was my first foray into streaming media and being online. That was back in the 90s with a tech startup test thing. But anyway.
Yeah.
Starius says, hey everyone, if you're enjoying the live stream today, don't forget to give the old thumbs up button a tap. It does help Odin's channel out in those strange and mysterious YouTube ways.
Yeah.
I hadn't pre-read that, so thank you, Starius. That was me totally reading it cold. I didn't realize what he was saying. That's, yes.
No, but it's true.
It is true, yeah.
It's true, so
The big
thank
old
you.
thumbs up does help, so thank you. Thank you very much, Darius, for pointing that out. And yeah. And honestly, all the chatting you do, all that activity also helps. The amount of activity a stream or a video has helps. The amount of likes helps. Things like that. It's a huge mishmash of
You gotta feed that algorithm.
stuff. You gotta feed the algorithm monster.
Whatever the algorithm wants, right?
Yeah. Nathan Bulliard says, good to see both of you.
Good
Nice to see you,
too.
Nathan.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Toby, Bruno, they are.
And so the dogs are wrestling with the camera.
So if things get bumped, it's their fault.
Yep. So any earthquake that happens is a dog quake.
There you go.
Whoever sees this, do you think he should make the Nemesis Gatling gun from Resident Evil Apocalypse? Says the gamer out west. Well, I've made a Gatling gun. I haven't seen Resident Evil Apocalypse, so I have to look at it. At the moment, I'm not looking to do another Gatling gun, but never say never.
Never say never.
Ian Spademan. Hello, Felicia and Odin.
Hello.
Hello. You both have been a great joy to watch along with and see your progress. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Ian.
We've been making progress now.
We've been making progress? So, I still haven't gone to Ace Hardware to buy the right size screws.
That's okay, I've thought about it.
Oh, okay, I'm glad you thought about it. Because you leave, like today, the stream's going to end. I'm going to run upstairs and finish up the polish for the video and finish up I'm sorry, guys. Rent is a marvelous thing to pay. I got finished up the Raid Shadow Legends spot that's going to be happening within the video because,
Yay!
Shakespeare's got to get paid. So, sponsorship, yeah.
You gotta love them, right?
Gotta love them. So that's happening very early on. They wanted it in the first 45 seconds. They keep pushing it more and more forward. Whatever, guys. Used to be, we wanted, no more than halfway through. Then it was like, no more than 2 minutes through. And the new one is, no more than 45 seconds in. Or I think this one said approximately. But it's like,
Okay,
all right.
Just before people turn off.
Yeah.
Am I gonna watch this?
Right.
Yeah. The algorithm, you gotta feed
The
it.
algorithm, you gotta feed it.
All hail the algorithm.
Yeah, pretty much. Slave to the algorithm.
Almost, it's 2 more rows.
2 more rows.
2 more rows. 2 more rows.
2 more rows.
Dos más.
Dos más.
Dos más.
Artman 2019 says, working on my 13th revision of the Deku mask.
13.
Good for you for tenacity. I think I did my one, and then I modified it as I was going. So you could call that a revision, but honestly, the mask I started with is the mask I finished. I just made some alterations along the way. So,
It's
but of
okay
course,
to accept that it's a work in progress.
yeah, I think it's awesome that to go through a project and to do multiple iterations of it and polish it and perfect it. I don't give myself the time to do that, and I generally don't have the attention
Sometimes
span
once
to do
it's
it.
done, it's done, and I don't have to
I
think
don't-
about it
yeah.
anymore. It's not coming back up. It's not going to happen.
Right, exactly.
If it worked, it worked.
That's the type of artist apparently both of us are.
Well, that's kind of what we have to do.
Yeah,
It just
coming
needs
from
to
production.
look pretty on camera.
Right.
It needs to work. It needs to do its job.
For
And then,
about 5 minutes.
and then after it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
And you move on.
Right.
Yeah. So there is the whole cosplays where that actually has to last a con and move around and function, or plays,
Details.
when you do a
Right.
play where you actually have one costume for the whole thing. There's
Or the props for plays where they get reused every night and
but film, it's its own special beast, and I love it. It has its own rules.
yep.
And yeah, so sometimes you just move on.
Yeah.
And you don't look back, but sometimes it's nice. Something you really this is my baby. I worked on this project. It snapped.
Perfect it, right?
It broke. I'm gonna take the time to fix it. A lot of times, tape, duct tape.
Right. Super glue.
Just sit there, leaned up against something. Just don't breathe on it. So, anyways.
Many times. So ultimately, I just wanted to compliment you on having the stick-with-itness to
Yes.
go through the multiple versions to get exactly what you want. That is
dedication.
commendable and dedication and discipline, and that's very cool.
Yes, apparently I don't have as much.
I don't really have that much either. I could use a little more discipline.
So, yesterday, I had an old video come up. Somebody put it on, the werewolf music video.
Oh,
That one has puppets in it. You helped me with it. I was the production designer on it.
right.
And I made the puppets.
Right.
You did the TV head. That's why I thought we did puppets.
Okay.
Because we've done puppets.
We've done puppets on the werewolf video with the TV head. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
There have been puppets.
There have been puppets, yes. But I didn't remember
You
that.
didn't do the puppets because I did the puppets.
Right.
Like the night before, you know.
Yeah, because you've done it before for Smosh, so whatever, puppets.
Yeah, there's the puppets. So that's one of the ones that had the puppets.
Maybe we need to make puppets on the live stream.
I think we do. I think people want puppets.
All right.
Eventually, maybe as the next thing.
Sorry. I know the heater's back here. I keep shifting my weight and stepping on poor Toby.
Yeah, but he also wants to be like right here, right here.
Yeah, well, there's a space heater right behind us.
Well, here, before you can see. There,
Can you
right?
see?
There.
There he is.
There he is. That's Toby.
That's
and
Toby.
Bruno. And that's right
This
where
is
they want to
Toby.
be. And there's
And here's Bruno.
my Toby. So, yeah. We are stepping on dogs, not just complaining.
Right. I don't want to step on dogs.
Sorry.
But apparently I haven't really hurt because no one's complained.
They're little bulldozers. They get
Right.
like right under your feet, but somehow. Oh no. Alright, you go. I'm almost done.
Jimmy Eckhoff, what glue is better for foam, contact cement or super glue? Or what is the difference between the different glues of contact cement?
Whichever one you have, first of all.
The big difference between contact cement and super glue is flexibility. Much like spray paint, super glue is going to crack. Each individual piece of cracked super glue will still glue, but it can crack. Contact cement is actually got a bit of latex in it, I think. So it's got
It's called rubber cement. Well, not.
yeah.
but
Contact
it's-
cement isn't called rubber cement, but it's a very similar
thing to
very,
rubber
very similar,
cement
yeah.
because it has that stretchy.
It's made to bond dissimilar materials, so it's able to flex and deal with it. And barge contact cement specifically is the contact cement I've seen. The two different people that I knew that would repair shoes, that's what they use professionally to repair shoes and resole work shoes. So that's kind of what, that's what I associate barge cement with, is resoling your shoes that you're walking on.
Save your soul.
Save your soul. Swallow your soul. Swallow your soul. No, that's not it. I'm using a cheaper version of contact cement. It's still contact cement. It's called Weldwood. It's DAP Weldwood. It's the red label. That runs about $35 a gallon at my local hardware store, as opposed to about $35 a quart for barge cement. So
Also,
bit of a
buying
price
in
difference.
bulk versus buying individual little.
Yeah, the little $6 pint bottles.
They
Which is
go
all
through
that.
them pretty quick.
Oh yeah,
And then
they're nice because they're small and they got the little brush, and when they get gummed up and nasty, it's about the time you're done with them. But no, I'd rather.
You
I-
kind
I-
of do this too much. Just
I
a
do this
little.
just a little too much. It was worth it to buy the $40 glue pot and refill it.
But you did do the Monty Python
I did.
helmet with super glue,
I did.
and that one's held up fine.
That one's held up fine. I haven't taken it to a con. It's over there on top of Thanos' head, but
But
it's
that-
held up fine, and to my knowledge, it will hold up fine. I just noticed.
So it's whatever glue you have is the best glue,
There you go. Yes, the glue you have is the best glue.
but preferably you'd use contact cement over super glue.
Yeah, I think the other thing is that contact cement will do large areas, which would be a bit harder to do with super glue.
Very much so. But
Yeah.
super glue, you can put things into the spot and just add the super glue and be dry, as opposed to having
Right.
to do wet contact cement, which would take forever to dry, but is the way you get into those tricky situations. So
And the other thing I've seen that I've done both with Mechagodzilla and like Bill Duran did with his Mass Effect suit, was all the little teeny tiny details. That's just put on with super glue, because then you don't have all the extra brush marks that are caused by using contact cement.
yeah, because that can add little boogers to your project.
You can see it under the paint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can.
Yep, you totally can. You can clean it off, but that's just a whole other step, and so just use super glue. But
Depends
So-
on the application.
Depends on the application, and honestly, I can say I use contact cement out of habit. So I'm sure, like you're saying, I've done Monty Python. I can probably do more things that are done strictly with super glue, and I bet they'll be just fine. I bet I'll be just. I guess I did do the golden snitch out of super glue, but that was gluing headphone wires to a ping pong ball. So
Yeah, that would be the correct
yeah.
adhesives in
Adhesives?
this situation.
The golden snitch is on my DIY prop shop videos. So there's a
That's
playlist on my channel if you guys want to see some of the old DIY prop shops I did. K Artistic Kiwi says, "Hey, Mr. Odin, you're awesome. Thank you."
Nothing like a good
Yes!
ego boost.
Well, I'm good. That's all I came here for. I want to thank everyone for. No, I'm not going to do that. Oh, sweet. Big Bob's Props says, "Hi, Odin and Felicia. With everyone doing Mandalorian cosplays, I've decided to do a Tusken Raider, which is very cool."
Nice. So
Yeah,
you get to
that's-
have more fun.
Yeah, you definitely get to have more fun. 'Cause Tusken Raiders are... Okay, correct me if I'm wrong here. So watching Star Wars Episode 1 and the pod race is going by, and you've got the Tusken Raiders up on the canyon ridge with their super long little... It's not a sniper rifle, it's just the super long rifle they've got, taking pot shots at the Raiders and laughing about it. Are the Tusken Raiders rednecks? I mean, right? I mean... I scrolled. I was trying to read one, and then Darren Cavan just woke up. Good morning, Darren.
Good morning.
Hi, Odin and Felicia. This is a question for Odin. What is the biggest sword you made?
Is that one technically bigger? But it's double bladed.
Well, okay, Thanos' sword, I guess. So, how do we want to define bigger? I did the Thanos Copter's sword, which is easily 7 feet long.
Isn't that one
Soul Edge
technically
is 6
longer than
feet. The you can't see what I'm pointing at, but up there is also the Buster sword, and that one's about 6 feet. But overall mass, I think this is bigger.
Yeah, I think that one's the most massive.
Right, the most massive.
But technically, that one's
Technically,
the longest.
Thanos is the longest, and then Buster sword is also 6 feet.
So it's the same length. It's just not as.
Yeah, it's just not as tall or wide
And
or
it's more
monster.
sword, less handle. Is it though?
Yeah, it's probably ends up having about the same amount of blade
I guess
because
you're right.
the handles. There's about a foot worth of handle beyond the blade here. It ends
And
up
it's
being
about
about
a
2
foot.
feet long. Yeah, and that's about a foot 14. This is about a foot 14 somewhere.
So,
in there. I'm talking inches because I'm a barbarian. Yeah.
Yeah. So, those two.
Yeah, those two.
Yes.
Now, that was a you guys question, right?
No, that was a you question.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I haven't made a sword.
You haven't made a sword?
No, I
Okay.
just go rent them or find people who have them, or
All right,
you know.
there you go. I remember Pat at Smosh did a Buster sword from styrofoam.
Yeah, I didn't have to do props.
Okay.
I had to do the wardrobe. I had to do the costumes. That's what was your job, remember?
Right. Guerrero Ventnor asks me, when will you start using Adrenos in your projects? Also, contact cement works on zippers and EVA foam. I use contact cement on my zipper and EVA foam first, and then sewed it as an additional
It
step.
technically does work, but you can peel it off.
Yes, especially the What the Foam. The What the Foam I might have been waiting too long, but I've been able to peel the What the Foam apart with the contact cement fairly well because the What the Foam's got enough.
Yeah. I was
You
going to
know.
say that it will
It's
hold
got
it,
its
but
stuff
it's
together.
not going, like, I feel
Right.
like I could just, if I needed to remove it, it would.
Yeah, you can. Not like, so the floor mats from Harbor Freight, you do that with contact cement. The floor mat's going to tear before the contact cement gives up. The HD foam, it's kind of a 50-50. Depends on how much you let the contact cement dry before you stuck it together as to how well it comes apart. I had to delaminate some of the banding on Mechagodzilla to add parts. And at one point, the foam did tear and I had to do some repairs. And at other points, it just came right apart. It's like, all right.
Yeah, but.
The other half of your questions, when am I going to use an Arduino in a project? Well, I don't know how to program one. Not that I'm incapable. I just haven't done it.
Eventually, one day,
Eventually,
maybe.
I would be totally happy to use it. You know, if I understand the functionality properly, with Mechagodzilla, because I believe the Arduino could control the chest flap, could control the plasma sparkle that happens behind the chest flap.
Do you think it could control the
It probably could, but I'm still okay just making that
out of the chin strap,
out of a chin strap.
brilliant puppet style?
But it could control the roar.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
Bo McLovin likes your mouse rat shirt.
Thank you. This was part of my Star-Lord costume. Because, I needed a shirt, and I'm a little big to be Star-Lord, but I'm not too big to be Andy, so I got this. Dan does Junk likes to point out the Gundam Beam Saber would be the biggest if it was made full scale.
True, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was made at 1/10 scale, so. They're talking about Tusken Raiders and pod racers back and forth, which is great. Sean Kennedy. I never understood the hate people show to America on the use of Imperial. 80% of America uses metric, manufacturing, science, military. There's no reason for the everyday citizen to use it. Right. The weird thing being an everyday citizen that grew up at exactly the right time for, hey, here comes the metric system, and we literally had after-school specials and like Schoolhouse Rock type animations about here comes the metric system. The politicians killed it, and it was taken out of the schools. I actually, it sounds stupid to go to, but I suppose you have lessons on how to read the stuff, so they were doing things on the metric system in grade school, and then all of a sudden it was just gone. And I completely blame the politicians at the time for that. There's nothing wrong with it. No, the metric system is great. Like Felicia has said many times, it's just units.
It's units.
It's this many units by that many units. And
Technically, it's more precise because it has smaller units as their small base unit.
Yes, it does.
So you can get more precise with your pattern drafting using it, and it's easier to do the math. So technically, it's
far
easier.
To do the math.
But it's units, and at the end of the day, like if I don't want to math, I'm folding my ruler and I'm folding my measuring tape and just like bypassing all that multiplication and division.
Making your own units.
So it's just units. At the end of the day, what unit am I using?
Right.
I just can visualize an inch from far, like a centimeter is about the size of my pinky, inches, 2 fingers.
Right.
A foot is about from here to here, like it's just what I can visualize from far away. And I'm pretty good at it. Like I could get, that jacket's a 44, that jacket's a 46. Like I can do it from across the room, but they're units.
They're units. I was going to say exactly what she was saying. I'm so used to using the Imperial system that I'm able to eyeball it fairly well. I wouldn't want to make cuts going off of my eye, but it's like, okay, that piece will be big enough, that piece isn't big enough, I need wood such thickness, that's right, because I'm just used to seeing it.
Yeah. You know what a 1/4 inch is?
I know what a 1/4 inch is, exactly. I know what an inch is, I know what a 1/4 inch is. I know that there's slightly less than 3 centimeters to an inch, but that's not enough to make a good eyeball on it. So just getting used to it.
The paint.
So what now?
The paint, the silver. Which one did we use and where did it go?
It is one of the one of those brands, the Flat Effects, and it was the one called Chainmail.
Okay. Oh, I see it over here.
Starius Prime says, hey, why don't you build an Arduino-powered life-size shark from Jaws? We're going to need some bigger foam. Connor Cook, hey, Odin and Felicia. I know that you say at the end of every video, you say that, and if you make any of these projects, you can send me a picture. Well, can I send you a picture of my Predator when it's done? Yeah, totally. Please do. Yes. Yeah, send through whatever social media that you're comfortable using. I'm on the majority of them.
And I'm barely
I shouldn't say
on,
that because I'm not like on
yeah.
Snapchat. But
Yet.
But we're both on Instagram. So I'm just Odin Makes on Instagram, and she's Ish_87 on Instagram. If you want to send us pictures of your Predator, whether it's work in progress or finished, please do.
Where's the name?
The name is really buried
Like, there's...
way over here on the side.
okay.
Yeah, it took me a while to find it first time too. And
Samurai sword.
Right, samurai sword and chainmail. Yep.
You have 2 chainmails.
I got three or four chainmails.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, all the names are fun. They definitely did their market research on naming their.
Well, they know their demographic.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Chainmail, samurai sword.
Samurai sword. Yeah, I can't remember the others right now, but they've all got. One of them's Doomsday, right? The gray, because it's really dark gray. I think it's called Doomsday. Yeah. Anyway.
Doom and gloom.
Doom and gloom.
I want to name colors. I think that'd be a fun job.
Go contact Shauna from Plaid FX, because Shauna's an awesome person who hooked me up with Plaid FX paints, and thank you. But yeah, they're in Georgia, I think, so it's not that long for that. Not that big of a commute. 3 time zones.
Just across the United States. That's all.
That's
you
all.
know.
You can do it every morning, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, easy. Brett says, "What a cute puppy."
That's because you don't know him. No, I just I love him.
Bruno is a very cute and energetic and happy dog.
Demanding.
But he is a needy little guy, and if you hear anybody, that's him. Enolith Lightbringer says, "Hi, Bruno."
So we gotta glue this now. Let me get the pins.
The shiniest finished one can get on foam. It's still only foam. I think they're talking about making swords.
Oh.
Lord Khan, hey Odin, do you think you could make Optimus Prime's sword? Apparently it's called the Sword of Judgment. Probably could. I think I've got that written down as an option somewhere.
On the list of
On the list of ideas.
The eventualist.
The eventualist. The let's write this down so I can reference it and make sure. And I'm going to be checking the lists and checking it twice. And no, what prop's not even nice. I will admit that I'm finishing up the Mechagodzilla chest, and that's the video that's going to be out on Wednesday. I do not know what prop I'm going to start building tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. I haven't zeroed in on it because I'm not there. That's tomorrow's problem.
So any suggestions, put them in the comments.
Feel free to put them in the comments. But I'm definitely looking for something that I can do and get done in a couple of days so I can maybe have a couple of days off. So let's see where we at. Hey! Oh, sweet. Maker JP says that I have finally finished my Frank 2020 sculpt. So now, what to sculpt next? Me! No, I don't know. I don't know. Because really good with the digital sculpting. I haven't checked your Frank sculpt in a couple of weeks because you were posting it on Instagram. You probably have been doing updates, Maker JP. But really impressed with what I was seeing. Really impressed with the Witcher sculpt that you sent us. And yeah, all these things come to mind. It's like, because you sent this to us and we printed it, but then that project stalled. In fact, most everything happening around my 3D printers and that little space I was trying to set up for doing 3D printing is kind of stalled here in the winter months. Not sure why. It just sort of did. So it'll happen.
This one, it curls. Like
it curls.
It doesn't want to be uncurled.
Right. I like it definitely has.
It's a lot more strong ribs there, aren't there?
Yeah. It's very washboard.
It needs to be heat set flat.
Well, we got a heat gun.
That's called blocking, technically, but we're just going to glue it to this.
It's true.
So...
Just glue it. Okay, what if we took... I don't know if glue tape's going to be strong enough, but what if we took glue tape and taped the edges down to the mat? Put the glue on it, put the glue on that, then laid the glue onto this, and then peeled it all up and took the tape out.
That'd probably be a good idea.
Okay. Now imagine we're gonna. Now you're putting edging on it or something, right? Because we'll probably end up having glue tape stuck underneath the foam. So a little bit. I don't, just it's a reality. I don't think it'll come out 100% clean, 100% of the way around. We'll probably have a couple of.
I think probably. Why not?
Why not? All right.
Why not? We'll figure it out.
All right.
Is there another one of those?
No, I've only got 4.
You only have
1, 2, 3 blocks. Yep.
Not 6? Okay.
Not 6. Yeah. You'd think I got so many multiples of everything else. I'm going to scoot it forward so it's all on the...
Here, you can put it on the camera so they can see what we're doing on camera.
Okay. So the issue with the chainmail is that it really, really likes to curl up. And so we're kind of fighting its inclination to do that because...
Alright, you ready?
If you put the ruler
Back where it was.
Yeah, but leave the last row exposed. So put it down and flop the ruler and leave the last row exposed.
There you go.
It's probably just a lot of hands.
Building for camera.
Building for camera. Last week I joked about this and it just comes to mind again. Building for camera. So I'm enjoying Christmas morning with my family. We're unwrapping presents. It becomes my turn to unwrap my presents. You know, we take turns so we can all enjoy watching each other unwrap their stuff. And I start unwrapping my presents for camera. I'm unwrapping it to me. I'm unwrapping it so everyone else in the room can see it. It's like, they gave it to me. They know what's in here.
Should start opening surprise eggs. But before we do that side, I think we should stretch it that way.
Yeah, I think we need to stretch it too. And that's the thing I'm concerned about is how much stretch. Oh, we can get a pretty good amount of stretch.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stretch. It's just super curly. That's the only thing. Oh, there you go. You can use them all on this side.
Yeah, enough stretch to pull the... Okay, so if I get this, well...
I'll just start pulling it this way down.
Yeah. I was starting to look at a reference of the grid marks in the line.
But we're an hourglass shape.
We're an hourglass, okay.
An hourglass shape.
And then that edge is probably not straight to the grid line.
No, not at all. But we probably can hit it with the heat gun and just let it relax in this position before we start.
Yeah. Yeah. We probably should put rulers or something on top of the tape so we're not heating the tape up.
There you go.
Because it'll let go.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
But won't the metal get hotter? Shouldn't we use a different?
Yeah, well, use some paint sticks. Something that'll just keep the heat off the blue tape. Because you can use a heat gun or even a hairdryer to take labels off if you want to take a label off of something cleanly.
Yeah.
Not using chemicals. That'll totally work. You know, or you can sit there for an hour and complain about it on camera and totally forget that Goo Gone is a product. And
Gooby Gone, but I don't like Gooby Gone very much.
Right, but you know, it let the viewers feel empowered because they're able to say, "Why didn't you do this, you fool?" Because I was in the heat of it and tired and just doing.
Yeah, that stuff has failed me a few too many times. That is not my go-to.
Sure, I've had it melt stuff. And the other big problem is you're cleaning out like the inside of your helmet and you can still smell it, just like the accelerator for super glue, which is wonderful. But if you spray it on the inside of your Mandalorian helmet, you're going to smell it a few days later. It takes a while for that accelerator smell to go away. He says as if he's experienced it.
Yeah. Heat shields.
Heat shields, yeah. So I pulled a little too hard.
No, you're fine. It will. This stuff.
Staples? Have you tried staples?
This stuff is intense. Okay.
Yep.
Heat gun or hair dryer?
Probably heat gun.
I'll let you do it because I burned the place down with this thing.
You only burnt the table leg. All right, so this makes a little bit of noise. Chances are this is all you're going to hear. My apologies. That's not so bad. We'll probably talk over that a little bit.
It's not the loudest. Bruce Marvel wants to know what your favorite cartoon is from the 90s.
My favorite cartoon from the 90s. Okay. So there's only like 3 really that immediately come to mind from the 90s: Animaniacs, Freakazoid, and The Tick. There's more than that, but those are the 3.
Those are like The Tick is my favorite.
Yeah. And
Animaniacs,
that's just it. It's like
Hysteria.
The Tick was great. I really like Freakazoid. So that makes it really rough.
Oh, look it. That's so much better. It's relaxed, like a lot. It's fun. It's cold. Sorry.
It's all right.
This is great. This is great. And now we gotta let it cool because it's the hot and then the cold.
Yeah. This has got a slightly different smell than typical EVA.
I don't think it needs more. I think we're gonna start warping it.
Okay.
Yay!
Yay!
Hi, Toby.
So I've set it to cool, so it's cooling down now. It's a heater. Warm your hands up. It's only California cold, but if you live in California, you're not used to it, and it's still kind of cold.
Oh, definitely.
As I like
Is that the cool? Oh no, it's still warmer. I was
It's
just
just-
saying
it's
because
just-
you can blow the cold air onto this to help
Right.
it set faster.
Well, it doesn't really blow cold air. All it does
Because
is
it's room temperature air to cool it
to
off.
cool the stuff down so it doesn't break itself. Yeah.
Yeah, but cool air blown on it will also help set it.
Yeah. Like hot glue.
Yeah. Does that say what's your favorite cartoon from Uranus?
No, that says future. Is there a different one that says Uranus? Oh, okay. What's your favorite cartoon from? Oh, same person saying it. Apparently, Uranus is our future. Welcome to the future. And the future is total gas giant. That still works as a joke.
Alright, here, heat gun on this part, I think. Because this part's all staying flat, it's just where we didn't get the heat.
This is the cooler setting. So.
Yeah, because my fingers are under it.
Yeah, it'll still burn your fingers on the cooler setting.
No,
so.
I know.
Yeah, it's
But have
making
you,
it curl,
like,
so.
Jody's hair dryer? That thing is, like, hotter than the heat gun, I swear.
Probably feels like that because it's on your head.
Yes.
To the best of my knowledge, it really shouldn't be. This is supposed to be.
No.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's degrees. That can't be degrees. That's got to be watts.
Yeah, that's not degrees. Alright. I think it's not anymore.
Right.
I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're functionable, but we can keep it on because we have to get the glue.
Oh, okay.
We still have to put glue on it.
All right.
Yay. Hi, Toby.
If I can find it, I got a hook over here. There it is. So one of the things I did to my table early on, all the stuff that I use immediately, which is pens and razor blades, and anyway, they're all immediately on the table because I just wanted them closer to me. So right under the table, it's not a drawer. It's sort of like the cubby you had in your school desk if you had a cubby in your school desk. And then I've got boxes in it that I put some of my little hand tools in. And then on the side, which was just open legs, I put a piece of plywood with some hooks on it, and I hang my Dremel on there, and I hang my heat gun, and I hang my hair dryer on it. So
And that's what I almost burnt down.
yeah, it's just you hang the heat gun up and don't turn it off, or if you've used it for a little bit, it's pretty hot, and even though you put it on cool, it doesn't go right to cool. It takes a little while to cool down. It's hot enough to char wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Char wood? Did I say anything wrong?
No, just look what I just dipped it in.
Oh! Smells like coffee.
It's right next to where that was. I'm not putting the coffee back into the glue, though.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Oh, wait, you have it over here.
I made a cubby to hold my paper towels, so there's a box here that the paper towels fit in.
Well, it's Monday, so.
It's Monday. I have done that with hot sauce and my hot sauce, dog bark, and my bottle of soda. So hot sauce and burritos, hot sauce and the burrito, soda and the burrito. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Carbonated beverage.
Well, now.
Error, who is asking, I'm going to say Error, who assumed tuned in more recently, when's the next Mechagodzilla video? Wednesday. So this Wednesday I'm going to finish up the chest build, and so it'll be all painted up. The spines are attached. I've got the details of the front door finished. So the chest portion will be finished as far as look goes. I'm going to do some refinement later on. I don't have the energy beam effect happening in the chest yet. That's going to be a future video, but it is as a static piece. It's a full chest, and so that's this Wednesday.
It has an empty cabinet. Is what it seems like.
It's an empty cabinet. It's the wood burning stove that's built into Mechagodzilla's chest.
It hasn't been filled yet.
It has not been filled yet. And I'm going to take a couple weeks off, and I can do a couple other different projects, different properties, things that search engines might like in order to bring some traffic to my channel. And then I'll come back to continuing with Mechagodzilla again. But definitely going to fully finish this guy out. I am having a lot of fun with it. I am super excited.
It's turning out really well.
Thank you.
I genuinely like it.
Thank you. It's I remember being 6 years old, going to Japanese stores in some of the districts, whatever, Japantown is what they called it, and also I'm afraid thinking that that's an inappropriate thing to call it, in San Francisco, and they had gift bags of Godzilla toys. They were little, very much like the one I've got now, but far simpler. It's blow molded vinyl, the head would pop on, the arms would move, but that was about it. And I remember getting the one set that they had because Mechagodzilla was in it. It was the only set they had Mechagodzilla. So definitely been one of my favorite kaijus always. Yeah.
So
Godzilla, yeah, because he's the star. But Mechagodzilla, I like the villain. I like the silver robot.
I'm going to put this to dry over here.
Okay.
I got to do that one.
All right.
Or I guess I'll leave it here.
I am genuinely excited and hopeful that Mechagodzilla does make an appearance in Godzilla vs. King Kong, the one that's supposed to be coming out in May or so of this year, which could work out with me having the majority of Mechagodzilla done, if that's true.
Right?
And I am not seeking out spoilers for that. With that particular franchise, I don't think I'm too worried about it. Like, I'm not going to be, cry in my cereal if that little detail is spoiled for me. But it's not something I'm seeking out. I'd rather let the movie just play out on its own and
just
do its thing.
enjoy it as it's fed to you.
Yeah, as it's fed to me. But chances are, something like that, marketing will throw it in the trailer anyway. There's no way you're going to avoid it.
Right?
Yeah.
But it'll get you excited.
What's that?
It'll get you excited.
Oh, yeah, it'll get you excited.
I want to watch that movie.
I want to see that movie.
Yeah, so.
Wow, I'm inhaling that directly. That's...
Yeah. It's okay, I ruined my coffee with it.
That's true.
There definitely are a lot of fumes, aren't there?
Yep. It's far more noticeable to me in the winter. It should never be noticeable. Saying that obviously means I'm not taking care of myself. In the summer, there's a lot more open in the shop. There's a lot more air going through. And these are heavy fumes, so it's not hard to get them to go away. In the winter...
It's cold.
It's cold. They're all right here. Yeah. Ideally, you should be wearing a mask with this. I should be wearing a mask with this.
Oh, no.
You should be wearing a mask with this. Bruno should be wearing a mask with this.
Secret.
Yeah, nobody knows, so it's okay.
There is an air vent right above us, but...
There is. I think it's on.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's on. It's blowing. I feel it. But still. And then we get to wait for glue to dry.
Yep. Well, you can hit it with a hairdryer. It'll speed it up a little bit.
But then it'll be loud. We can just...
Yep.
It'll take 2 seconds.
Pretty much, I know.
Yeah.
2 seconds, 180, something like that.
Eventually.
So I have been using a hairdryer to set the contacts on it faster, right? And that totally works. But I'm running into the same thing that I remembered having happened before, and why I stopped using a hairdryer it dries it too much too quickly, and it doesn't stick as well.
Yes, because you want it to get dry and be tacky, but you don't want it to be dry and no longer tacky.
And no longer tacky.
Yes.
And yeah, I've been getting it to be no longer tacky very easily.
Yes.
And I think, yeah.
I'm okay, because I feel like that happens with the blow dryer for me too.
Okay.
More than I'd care to admit.
More than you care to admit?
Yes.
Looks like you got that pretty well handled.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought there was a handle right there, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, no, as soon as I said it, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Vesper36, Odin, did you enjoy the most recent Godzilla movie? Yeah. Yeah, I did. That was fun. I got to see that. Actually, recently I didn't see it when it came out. It took me a while, last September. But yeah, it was fun. Was it a good movie? No. Did I enjoy it? Yes. What's the difference? I watch giant monsters beat each other up and destroy stuff, which is all I want out of a Godzilla movie. I don't need a phenomenal plot. I need the thinnest thread of a plot that gets me to having monsters beat up on each other. I don't need to have fantastic human actors because I want to watch rubber suits bounce around and fall on models. That didn't really happen, but digitally it did. And so I totally got what I wanted out of a Godzilla movie. So if you want to see not even highbrow, medium brow, my science fiction with believable characters and a decent plot and easy suspension of disbelief, shop elsewhere. But yeah, I totally enjoyed it, and I loved all the little callback things they did to the Toho films, which they're supposed to do anyway, right? Like Rodan comes out of a volcano. The first head for Ghidorah that gets ripped off is the middle head. All the little things that they just always did, they did again, and that was fun. I enjoyed all that.
You could tell that it was
stupid
done
thing.
by true fans.
Yeah, Black Eagle 355 says hello from Malaysia. Hello
in Malaysia.
Matthew Nichols has an excellent question. What is your favorite Mouse Rat song?
Little Sebastian. 5,000 candles. Isn't that Mouse Rat?
Is that Mouse Rat?
5,000 candles?
I'll be totally honest with you.
You don't know?
No.
Okay.
Don't watch the show.
You haven't seen Parks and Rec?
Nope.
Yet.
I know the characters, I know the memes, but I didn't watch the show. I bought it because I knew who the actor was, and I knew where he came from, and that it would relate to Star-Lord. But I haven't watched the show.
Yeah, no. It's all about little Sebastian, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you break it?
I don't know. Did I break it?
Is the mirror broken? Is it 7 years bad luck?
Oh, gosh. Nope.
No bad luck. All right, I think it's dry enough.
Oh, yeah, it probably is.
Should we do the paper in between?
Oh, wow.
Since we heat set it and it's not going to curl.
Paper in between. Wait a minute.
Start at the top, paper, and we peel and stick as we go down.
Oh. Yeah?
Because we heat set it, so it's not super curling.
Right, but still, wouldn't we want to just go this way? That way we're not changing this around?
I'd rather go this way because we're doing it onto here.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you'd rather remove this and glue it onto that because this is how we did it last time, and it's kind of the way our brains want to do it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, totally cool. We can do that.
And plus, my experience is when I can't see the top and I do this way, we're going to have, like, lines doing stuff
Yeah,
like
right.
this. You know what I mean? They're not going to be nice and straight.
Yep.
So, paper's over here.
Paper's over here. On the other side of the table that doesn't have hair dryers, heat guns, and rotary tools, I've got a 18-inch paper dispenser. I just buy a roll of the 18-inch brown paper from the paint department, stick a wooden dowel through it, and there you are. I could have built it slightly better because the tearing mechanism doesn't tear, really. It's kind of decorative, but you know.
It does what it got to do. I'm going to start with this edge.
Yeah, you start with whichever edge you want.
Well, that corner, it's one shy of.
Oh, I see.
But it's going to also be one shy down, so if I start at this corner, I have a straight line.
Okay.
But if you want to do camera 4?
4.
4, right?
Yeah.
Scooch down a little bit so they
Just
can
a little
see.
bit, yeah. 4. 2's pretty good too, but I don't want to click right to it. There you go. Oh, okay, I'm hearing Jesse work on his guitar. I think. He may be working on something else, but I'm definitely hearing a high-pitched...
Oh, Bruno's also whining.
Oh, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, no,
Bruno...
Bruno...
I'm hearing Bruno whine, okay.
Yeah, no, Bruno is crying.
Sorry, Jesse, I'm blaming you for stuff. I'm not talking over you. Bruno's whining because we are ignoring him.
Yes. Sorry, Jesse. It's not your fault.
Not your fault. Somebody's long hair was in this thing.
I know. It's like getting in the way. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it gets...
Yeah, you'll get your hourglass shape instead of it just being...
Whatever it
whatever.
happened to
Yeah,
be.
it would end up being crooked. So for all of you at home, we put paper in between the two halves of the contact cement, so the parts that we don't want to stick don't prematurely stick, and we only have to work on the small area we're actually after. So peel the paper back, expose a little bit, and mash it down as wanted. Oops. I'm not helping. Also, like a month ago, we painted the red foam black. We saw some red foam and wanted to paint it black. And that was because we'd be able to see the red foam in between the links of the chainmail. So by painting it black beforehand, everything ends up being black. And we'll get much more of the look that we want.
You can pull it all off, it's fine. There we go. Not bad.
Not bad. You just scissor that right off, or not, or whatever you want to do.
You actually use scissors? You weren't going to use that.
Yep. Hey, Julian Turner. Was super nice, did super chat for $5, so thank you, Julian.
Well, thank you, Julian.
And apparently they're talking about me cosplaying as Mr. Incredible. I know that came up before,
Well,
but
you did have that great shirt on the other day.
I had the great shirt on the other day, and I know McThor, a friend, at one point talked about doing cosplay dads as a group cosplay, and I got elected to be Mr. Incredible. But Julian is suggesting that could we maybe see Felicia as Violet?
Do this. Go ahead.
Felicia's
That's what
Violet.
she does. Sit there like this. And be moody.
Be moody. And don't forget to talk in a kind of a... I think I just pulled the last, yeah. I need to go buy another box of paper towels.
So 4?
Whichever one you want. Well, 1 is us.
1 is us. Sorry, we were...
2 is that, and then 4 is that, and then 3 is the dogs that aren't in their spot.
No, they're at my feet right now.
Right. And we just shotgun through it and really make everyone annoyed.
Yay!
Yay! Or not. Oh, interesting. Starius Prime is asking, Odin Makes, you've had a lot of experience behind the camera on productions and doing stuff from prop making to editing. Has your YouTube channel experience fostered any interest in directing a production of any size?
Has it? Or do you get enough of that working in this environment that you don't need to scratch that itch?
Right. That's probably the better way to put it. Does it? It's occurred to me, and I'm going to be helping one other person who's going to be coming in and doing some DIY stuff, using my setup to get things going. But I don't like being the guy in charge. I'm not
You like to show up and have all the good ideas.
I like to show up and have all the good ideas. I like to show up and problem solve. I like to show up and work and be responsible for my thing, and not show up and have to be responsible for why that other person didn't show up. Stuff that's out of my control. I don't. Yeah, I've had the dude in charge position for multiple different things, not just not productions, and every time I have disliked it. And so I have no real desire to be in charge of a larger production.
That doesn't bother me one bit either.
Doesn't bother you one bit?
Being in charge of productions, yeah.
So it doesn't bother you to do it, or doesn't bother you to...
It doesn't
I'm confusing
bother
myself.
me one bit to be in charge.
Okay.
I have no problem with that.
Gotcha.
But also, I've been
Right, you've been.
in charge.
Now, also, I wonder how much developmental personality. You grew up in a family with siblings. I did not. I had none. And so I didn't have to learn some of those interpersonal...
Oh, I'm really good at being bossy. Let's just say that.
Okay, there you go. That's probably just a personality thing, too.
Probably. I think it is. But also, I like seeing my vision come forth, and I like working with others.
Cool.
And being able to make them feel successful always makes me feel better.
Right.
So.
Now, that being said, if something came up and yeah, I might.
Like, you're never
But-
down to say no to productions and to projects, but
Right.
I don't think you initiate them.
No.
No.
No, and I don't have a larger project in mind that I want to have happen or that I want to be in charge of.
Yeah, I think that we should build some mini buildings,
Okay?
like we had on Smosh, the ones
Oh,
out of
right. Okay.
what was that stuff that was made out of?
Coroplast.
Coroplast.
Yeah, so it's a corrugated plastic coroplast.
And then we
Effectively.
get you as Mega Godzilla
Okay.
to come and just trample the city, like Lilo and Stitch style.
Like Leo's, that'd be awesome.
And the Gundam, maybe even fight knocking over those. But that's just something I would like to do to just see it happen,
Sure.
because that sounds like fun. But yeah.
I think Ready Player One had the right basic scale for those two, because the Gundam aren't that tall. They're tall, but they're not that tall. They're a few stories tall. According to the old Hanna-Barbera theme song for the cartoon Godzilla show, he's 40 stories tall.
40 stories.
Yep, that's how tall Godzilla is, according to the cartoon. It changes all the time. The 2000,
No, I know. I'm trying to think of scale-wise now.
Gotcha. No, it doesn't matter, because it would be a funny video, so it doesn't matter.
Just whatever you can crush.
What happens is what happens, but just to be nitpicky about it.
Scale-wise.
Yeah, scale-wise.
There's a difference.
And then, I know that he changed sizes all the time. Like the 54 Godzilla was very much smaller than the 2014 Godzilla, because they wanted the 2014 Godzilla to be able to tower over the downtown buildings of San Francisco, whereas the 54 Godzilla only had to tower over the buildings of downtown Tokyo in 54.
Yeah.
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 Smaller buildings.
And also bigger guns.
And also bigger guns,
I
yeah.
feel like we have bigger guns, and so we need bigger targets.
Yep.
I don't know.
Or targets that look like they can handle the damage inflicted by our bigger guns.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's looking good. So then we'll be able to stitch that.
Lilo and Stitch this.
Well, Lilo
So
and
it's
Stitch
1
that.
o'clock, and
Is it? Really?
it's a little past.
1:15.
And I want to thank all of you who have recently tuned in. I'll try and do it's not quite the top of the hour. I missed it because this isn't broadcast, so whatever. Welcome to the stage identification portion of the live stream, where I say, welcome to Odin Makes. This is my channel, Odin Makes, just in case you didn't realize where you clicked. My name is Odin, and this is my good friend Felicia.
Hello.
And we've been working on the Witcher costume. This is day, I don't know, I totally lost count. But the big thing is we're doing this completely live. There has been basically nothing that's happened off screen. I pulled some of the wow, I'm hearing a helicopter, so I'm distracted. I pulled some of the chainmail strips apart off camera, just to try and get ahead to make things move. But
This morning as I got here.
That was this morning as
and
you
it was
got
only
here.
a few.
it was
so.
one sheet, and it wasn't even a full sheet. I think it was like 2 rows shy. of a full sheet. So basically,
Story of my life.
two rows shy. two rows shy of a full sheet. I'm sorry.
No, I couldn't help it.
Does that mean you just don't give a sheet, or is this a?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to.
Yeah. I mean, come on, get your sheet together. No, that's fine. So everything we've been doing during the live stream. So you've seen it all, and the big change is happening like right now. I shouldn't say change. One of the big differences between just doing a project and just getting it done, and then doing a live stream where you want to talk to you guys, is the example of right now where I'm not painting, I'm talking to the camera. So that adds time to getting this done. All being said,
can't you be entertaining while you do crafting?
Probably not.
Come on. No, I'm just...
Come on, dance, monkey.
Yeah. And pay attention to Bruno because...
And pay attention to Bruno. Yeah. I should be able to just hold Bruno the whole time.
Right?
And paint this stuff with my mind.
He is not letting me. He's just like, hold me, love me.
The first couple times he visited, he was really, really good. Then he got comfortable.
Right?
He's still... Thanks, Toby. He's still pretty good, but...
He's a sweetheart, and we absolutely love him, but jeez Louise, you are needy. Yes, you are. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
And since it's a live stream and it's fun, Felicia's been bringing her dogs.
Yep, they like it. They know what Monday is. They know when they're not brought.
And it's actually Toby, is what Bruno shares, they have an Instagram.
They do.
Yeah.
It's in Toby's name.
In Toby's
Baby
name.
Gomez.
I talked over you. Toby Gomez?
Baby Gomez. Yeah. They have their own Instagram account of them being adorable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to pull out the sewing machine.
All right. So how often do you check Toby's Instagram?
I just updated it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I think for a while there he had more followers than I did. But your stream changed that.
Right. Well, you're welcome.
So this is white thread in it currently.
Gabriel Enrique, please do Mysterio's helmet. Okay, so absolutely, I need to do more Spider-Man. I've only done one Spider-Man prop, and I can see that it's doing fairly well. It keeps popping up as a most recent video, most recently watched video. Mysterio's helmet is a great idea. It's hard to get around the 14-inch, 16-inch clear acrylic sphere that you really kind of need to put on it to really kind of do it right, and then somehow make it so you can't see in, but you can see out.
Wonder how the costumers did it initially, or is it all digital?
I think it's a lot of digital. Yeah.
Which one was it? Mysterio?
Mysterio's Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay.
When they're in Europe.
Okay.
And Mysterio's just the big, he's got a crystal ball for a head, right? I remember him from the old cartoons. He was always showing up. So he's got, in the cartoons especially, he's got the large crystal ball, and then his cape connection kind of looks like a pair of eyes down here. I think they're just like psycho swirls, but they kind of look like eyes too.
Yeah, well, that's the point. We identify faces, and we connect with faces.
So one solution that I saw come up that a cosplayer did for Mysterio's helmet that I thought was brilliant and worked is she did. It's the string art. It's not paper mache. It's done with cornstarch and
string around balloons, kind of.
Yeah, it's a string around balloons. There's a word for it. I can't think of what it is right now. But anyway, yeah, it's a string around the balloons kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so she did that, and then somehow removed the sphere out of it.
Pop the balloon.
Maybe it was just a yoga ball. I don't know.
Or a beach ball.
Or a beach ball. Yeah, that could have worked. Let the air out of the beach ball. So ended up with a sphere made out of a net, made out of a material that could breathe.
Okay.
and then they're spray painted it silver, so the bright color on the outside reflected more light than what was coming out from inside, so it was really hard to see her in it. But she could breathe and she could see. Because the whole thing was just a basket on her head.
A glitter ball?
Yeah.
Not glitter, but
no. The bright, shiny silver. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was a fantastic idea.
Yeah. And if you're wondering why everything's getting bumped.
Right. As long as nothing falls over.
Shake the camera!
Shake the camera!
This has to dry before we do the other part. But we have the...
Well, I can get this out of the way, and you can start on whichever one.
We have the
That will do a little bit of chainmail colored paint on top of the chainmail now.
Make sure I have... These all look the same, but they're different.
Right.
They're all different. This one is both the same side, so it makes these ones both the same side. And yes.
Now, if for any reason none of this is bright enough, we can always come back with like some rubbing buff or something later and do some highlights on it. But it doesn't seem like he's supposed to be that bright. Not that bright. Gabriel is asking, did you, so it could be both of us, like Jake Gyllenhaal playing Mysterio in the movie? Bart.
I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I did. I thought it was a great take on the character, and I thought it was a great Marvel World explanation for how it works without it being mysterious powers. That it was that he was just doing it the way he was doing it, and so totally, I was totally happy with it, and would not be upset if Jake came back.
Do you have any C-47s?
Yes, there's some. That one, there should be.
Oh, I see. There's a pack. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sorry. Thank you.
It's all right.
I don't want to pin it.
It's just, yeah.
I thought that this would hold it nicely together before I throw it into the sewing machine.
Must do cosplays for the doggos. This comes out from R Squared.
Well, which ones do you want to see?
Yeah. And also, the doggos do a lot of cosplays.
Don't they?
The first time I met Toby, he was dressed up like a dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a sweatshirt, but
Well, I made it.
Yeah. I don't mean.
I don't know if
I
this
don't.
is
I don't
gonna
mean
work.
to downplay it.
Let's see if this is gonna work. Let's just give it a try. This is pretty intense.
You need to adjust the foot tension or something, or is it?
No, it's just the foot only raises this much, and it's not going down when I push it down. Does that make sense?
Oh, right. Well.
So I'm just a little nervous.
If
this doesn't work, there's other ways around it, and we can make it happen. But this would be the easiest.
Well, there is another machine here we could try.
Oh, I would want to do it to that machine because don't want to break that one. This one I'd rather break.
All right. I believe everyone else who is currently not actually involved with that because they're not in the room appreciates that. I'm talking about my wife's sewing machine.
Yeah, let's not ruin her sewing machine.
No.
Dude, I need to do some touch-up paint. Do you have that silver paint for me?
Yes, the silver paint. Here is the silver paint.
Nice job, Odin.
Joe's helping me out with doing some of the airbrush detail work on Mechagodzilla, and he just wants to do some touch-up. Either because of airbrushing or because, well, I was spraying the silver when it was rather cold last night, and acrylic doesn't set up in the cold. It just kind of barks and slumps, and yeah.
No, it has everything to do with my screw.
Oh, okay, it's everything to do with Joe's screw-up. So everything that's wrong is Joe's fault. And Bruno's.
It's working, but I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Hello, internet strangers. Hope you guys appreciate this.
Hey, we got from Morningwood. This is, yeah. Hey, it's a great name, huh?
Well, good morning.
Good morning. Glad to see you're up.
Solid name.
Solid name. Hi, Odin. My name is Alexei from Russia, and says, would you make please mask Michael Myers from the Halloween movies? Thanks. And actually sent 100 rubles. That's really cool. Thank you.
I've never had a ruble.
I've never had a ruble either. No, I've had a few foreign
It's
currencies
so,
in my hand.
Sorry, I'm
It's
just so excited about that.
So?
You haven't had a ruble? Sorry.
No, I haven't.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That actually looks.
It's hold and it's not too perforated. Oh, here we can show. They can't see.
They can't see it. I don't want to try 4.
4. Where's 4? Yeah, that one's not any
Yeah,
better.
any better. All right.
Let's do the.
Well, fine.
Okay, well it's sewed. It's not too perforated. It's not going to nicely lay this way yet because we have to trim.
You have to trim, and then we'll probably have to heat.
Yeah. Well, yeah. This is not. You're just gonna have to.
Oh.
It's a curve.
Gotcha. That's what you mean.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm going
you
to have
gotta
to.
cut the little wedges out.
Yeah, so that it has a room to.
Has flexibility.
Yeah.
Right.
But it works and it holds. So.
Cool. Just do it 4 more times. No. Well, yes, but Michael Myers mask. It would be very interesting to try and make a Michael Myers mask from foam. I absolutely would not say it's impossible.
Foam or latex?
But I would
you do
rather. I'm just trying to say it would be possible to do it like thin foam and sculpt
It
it. It would be possible.
What?
But it would kind of look like Pepakura. It would kind of look like the old Kraftwerk album covers. Look it up. But to do it right, you would end up needing a head cast, even if it's just you can buy generic head casts just to do sculptures on, and then do a sculpt of the Michael Myers mask, do a stone mold of it. I assume stone because it's cheaper and easier to work with, and so you could then slush mold it or brush mold it with latex, pull it out. Technically vulcanize it, which would be to
Heat and then cool it off.
heat and cool it off, to make the rubber somewhat stronger. And then it's a lot of punching of hair. And that's off the top of the head how to go about doing it. I think the only step that isn't done that way for the Halloween shop masks is they just glue the hair on. They don't punch it.
I'd totally punch it.
Yeah.
Because that's.
It looks so much better.
Right? And plus, how often do you get the opportunity to do it that way?
With the way I work, rarely.
Right.
So could I? I could. I've done many of those types of steps before on other projects, but yeah, it's not.
So did it make the list?
No,
It's not on the list?
I've never put the Michael Myers mask on the list because to me, the amount of expense of all those steps, head cast, clay, recast in stone, which is going to be cheaper than silicone, slush molding in latex versus $15 mask at Halloween City. That's going to look better than I can sculpt. That's which is the wrong attitude because that could be applied to half the stuff I build. Right? You can turn around and pick out any one of these things and be able to buy one that's better than I could sculpt. But for some reason, there's a line there for me that I don't know. I think it's my confidence in my sculpting, my clay sculpting, and my facial sculpting.
Fair
Even though
enough.
Michael Myers doesn't look that much like Captain Kirk.
Okay.
You okay? You didn't hurt yourself?
No, but I totally tripped over Toby.
I heard that, and I didn't.
Well, I'm awake.
I disagree.
You disagree?
Because that Pip-Boy, not nearly as good as something that you could make.
So Joe was disagreeing that the Pip-Boy is not nearly as good as something that I could make, or that Bruno has made. He's talking about the Party City Pip-Boy. So if you go and look at the Party City Fallout 4 cosplay build that we did, the three of us, it was Felicia was in the video, Joe was in the video, I was in the video, putting together a full Fallout Vault Dweller suit. The Pip-Boy Joe repainted, and it was a very simple casting that was purchased from Party City, versus the fact that I've made 2 of the Pip-Boys. but that's a mechanical. Here's the weird delineation for me. That's a mechanical thing. And I'm very happy with my mechanical sculpting looks. And that's not necessarily why all my cosplays have been robots, but it might be. Because they kind of have. At least that's a sense of the channel. It's been a lot of, and the ones we talked about have all been robots. Yeah. But thank you. You were complimenting me.
Yes, yes I was.
Yes, you were.
Okay. Actually, before I started falling, I was trying to get a knife out of here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to trim off some of this extra foam on this side of the seam allowance to trim down the bulk in the seam allowance.
Right.
Before I start cutting little triangles out of it.
Dan Does Junk. April Fool's idea. Replace someone's everyday items that they use with prop versions made from foam.
Well, you have that sewing machine and the iron.
I was thinking that. I got two things here that you could tell at a glance if you were thinking you were going to use a real thing. I made some a foam iron and a foam sewing machine and a number of other things because we were doing a parody of It Follows, right?
Something like that.
That's the name of the movie, right? Yeah, It Follows, I think.
Wow,
now I'm saying it out loud and I doubt it.
I don't remember what the whole plot or what it was, but I remember that Anthony was asking, will you go to prom with me, yes or no?
Right.
We hadn't doubles, and that we kept trying to kill him by throwing things at him.
Right.
But I don't remember why we did any of that.
Because that's all plot points in the movies. In
the movie, there we go.
To summarize it very simply, there's this undefined demon-esque, ghost, supernatural-ish creature that is playing deadly tag, and it follows around a person who is the last person to have sex with the previous person who was it, and it only walks. It has a walking pace, but it walks in a straight line towards whoever's it, and doesn't stop, doesn't tire. It's a Terminator in that sense. But if you pass it on to someone else, they now become it. Now the rub of that is if they get caught up, then the creature moves back to the previous it. Right? That's the way it works in the movie.
I didn't see the movie.
I'm
like, this sounds like Scary Tag, so...
Yeah, it's Scary Tag. And that's totally the plot of the film. It's Scary Tag with teenage sex.
There you go.
And the creature is invisible to everybody but the person who is it. And it can look like whatever it wants to look like to the person who is it to fool them into letting it into the house or whatever else.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds like a movie I got to see, especially since we did a parody.
Right. It actually wasn't bad. It was weird. It really was a pretty good movie. It was. It's a horror film, so keep that in mind. It was independent film. It was a fair, modest budget. But one of the ways they tried to kill it at the end is they lured it into a swimming pool, a gymnasium swimming pool, so you could theoretically see it splash about, and all the friends started hucking heavy objects at it.
Okay.
And that's why we were throwing stuff at Anthony and why I had to make stuff out of foam. Let me try and circle that back around before I go way off in the weeds.
Yeah.
So, would I recommend it? If you like that kind of movie, yeah, I would recommend it. If
it's not your cup of tea, don't bother.
Yeah, that one's definitely one of those, you're gonna like it or you're gonna hate it. And I don't know if anyone really loves it. The one fun thing is it's a weird time frame that doesn't exist. The movie is set in the it's pre-cell phone. It's kind of pre-internet, but one character has got a device that she's reading like an e-reader. You know, that isn't a real device. That looks more like.
I was noticing a lot of movies that.
Yeah.
They could be solved with cell phones.
Right.
So it makes sense why that one.
So that one, yeah, it doesn't seem to have cell phones, but she's got this one weird device that doesn't fit with all the '70s cars, all the telephones with cords in the walls. It's like, okay, but what's that thing? And they're just making a slightly different version of, I think, Detroit.
Okay.
I think that's where it takes place.
Yeah.
I'm stepping off camera to clean the brush.
Okay. I am breaking down the seam allowance so that there's not too much bulk in it, so it'll all lay nicely. I think I have to take them out to go to the bathroom.
Hey, you want to go outside? Here. I'll let you guys go outside and terrorize the neighborhood.
Thank you, Odin. Okay. Bobby J, what movie are they talking about? It Follows. But we were talking about a Smosh episode that we did based on that movie that Odin had to make props for that needed to look like the real thing. So he made a sewing machine and an iron, and then we chucked them at Anthony. But that was what it was based off of. And Ant-Man, just curious, are my Mando patterns safe? Yes, they are. You still have that box like right over...
Yeah. Art-Man, right? Or
Art-Man, yes.
Art-Man or Ant-Man?
Art-Man, not
Art-Man.
Ant-Man. Sorry, I got it.
Yes, the patterns are totally safe, and I intend on using them.
So, thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, can you please make the camera a little bit lower so we can see what you're doing? Let's do camera 2.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, do camera 2, then I'll try and tilt this one down a little bit.
Okay, you're going to tilt down slightly?
Right. The trade-off with tilting down is I might cut off heads. Or actually, I can move the camera back. Are you on 2?
I'm on 2 now,
All
yeah.
right.
So they're not going to be dizzy by you moving things.
Sorry, the old broadcast head is, you don't move the camera around when it's live.
Yeah, but we break all the rules, apparently.
Well, it's YouTube. You kind of can. It's kind of nice to not, because there's certain things that...
They do it that way for a reason?
Yeah, they do it that way for a reason.
Okay. So is the camera adjusted?
Yeah, one should be good, yeah.
There you go. Which one's that one that you're fixing?
This one, this one here, this is camera 3.
Okay.
That's stuff you don't want to do on broadcast. That's bad broadcast YouTube.
You should know better.
I should. I don't. Let's see. Let's turn this. This one's going to get me anything. Trying to see if there's anything I can do to get even closer. So my channel is just HD as far as video size and quality, right? I just put out HD. But all the cameras record a highly compressed 4K. So I'm able to, we like to call it punch in. We like to zoom in with, go in tighter on the image, but still have a 1-to-1 ratio with the number of pixels you're using. This will work, except I'm just seeing your sewing machine. You're going to use that again in a minute, right? So that's not going anywhere?
Yeah, because once this side's dry, I was going to run it through the sewing machine.
Okay.
But for now, just trimming seam allowance.
Yep, trim. Moving lenses around.
Danja's junk is reminding me not to drink my coffee or I will end up like
Right.
the picture on the outside. Because now there really is poison in my poison cup.
There really is poison in your poison cup.
Don't drink
that's-
contact cement, people.
Yeah. That's totally in shot.
Alright. This needs more trimmed away.
Wow. There it is. That was, for some reason, not easy to find. Zoom out a little more. It's a little too tight still.
Okay. There we go. Now that lays a lot easier.
Oh, no. Just for the minute, when you want to use it, put it back to where you want to use it.
Okay.
Is that gonna?
Well, I think I need to trim out this part.
And the dogs are back.
I love how they know their way around here now. They're just
Right.
like, yeah, we got this.
Yeah, pretty much. Is that one or two?
What?
Quantity.
Just one. It's just
two.
a Toby. Bruno's probably off.
Oh, terrorizing
The neighbor
shop yard.
dogs.
Black Eagle 355. Hey, I've called you up before. Have you made the Saba dagger from Power Rangers? No, actually, I haven't made any Power Rangers props yet. And it was something I was looking at doing pre-pandemic because it involved meeting up with somebody at a local comic shop that had some of the Power Ranger coins, so I could cast them in order to have the coin. And it just hasn't happened. The pandemic kind of hit, and it
Yay
just
for making plans during the pandemic.
yeah, and it just kind of hasn't happened. Doesn't to say it isn't gonna. We have lots of screaming all caps. Please answer my question, but I don't see which question we're asking. Oh, it follows. Starius Prime is nice enough to remind me that it is called It Follows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were right.
I've seen it a couple of times. I ended up watching it because of working on the Smosh episodes, because it said in the script what it was based off of. So what the heck is this thing?
So many of them that I forget that I've even worked on.
Yeah. Well, I've never have seen the time traveling pickup artist we did. That was the MTV movie where the kids make a time travel device, or they find one, or something,
Yeah.
and tear apart the fabric of space time, or whatever it is. I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay.
Steve, hey, Odin Makes, do you have any photos of the Darkness costume from Legend that you had 20 plus years ago? I do. Not that I can just go grab and put up on screen right now, but I do have... Well, I know where I can find the digital photos is the better way to put it. I know if you wanted to do a quick Google search, you should be able to find it from my verbal description. It's an old Angel Fire website, and it has to do with Gwar. So it's like the early stages of how I met up with my friend Sloan, when we did our Gwar costumes. So he calls it... Which one do you want?
I just figured you could, while
Okay.
you were talking, they could see you.
Oh, fine.
Supposed to me struggling with this.
Oh, that was the warning?
No, the foot wasn't down.
It wasn't down, so the beeping was a warning.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It likes to beep at me when I'm not doing something right.
All right. Anyway, the website, you want to search it. It's Warriors West Coast. So it's a play on Gwar, which is Gwar. So it's Warriors West Coast, but with a G. Warriors West Coast. Last I checked, which was just like a month or two ago, it was still up. So it probably still is. And you should be able to see my Darkness costume from 1989 or whatever it was on that site, as well as the number of years of Gwar, which is definitely a good example to me of, that is a project that I reworked and we changed and worked on over a number of years. So that one, I did have this stick-to-itness to do. But to me, it was every Halloween. It was like a year break, kind of,
Yeah.
sort of, not quite, 7 months, whatever it was, in between each version,
I'm
in
gonna
order to
iron
come
these
back.
before sewing them.
Cool. In order to come back around to doing it again, as opposed to some of the people I know who just immediately go right back into, all right, well, I'll try it again this way, and it's like, wow, I'm done with it at that point. and so that's why I think that's impressive. Chronicle Props lets us know that the Smosh episode is called "Stay Away from the Sun." Is it?
Is it? one have
Yeah, that was Courtney doing the Essential Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many, they all
Oh,
blur
I know.
together.
Yeah, and I think I always just called it Sexual Sun or Sensual
Yeah,
Sun.
Sexual Sun.
Sexual. I think I always just kind of called it that, which may have been the name that we had on the script, but
what it actually
what
was
it actually
called.
got called, right? Interesting. No, okay. So David, Ocean, Alaska, Ocean AK. So David, no, I have not thought about making the Swamp Thing costume from an X live stream project. Interesting. You know, I like the Swamp Thing movies, and I love the Swamp Thing comic, and haven't seen the short-lived show. It's interesting. Dan does junk. Would my Gundam cosplay project have never happened if the pandemic didn't? Yes. Ain't gonna stop me. I think I said that right. Getcha. It was just coordinating with someone else in a public place, and my focus on what I needed to do. This is in relation to getting the Power Ranger coins. My focus on what I needed to do and what was going on just distracted me enough that Power Rangers fell off my radar.
Easy enough to happen.
Easy enough to happen. And someone else was asking if I'd ever make a helmet. I could. I would not be opposed to making a Power Rangers helmet.
Yeah.
That's definitely one that's not. It's like Iron Man. It's either right or it's wrong, but it's doable. Hunter187 asks, "Is this live?" Yeah. Yep, it's live. CAA Gaming. Hello, Odin. Hello, CAA Gaming. Bow McLaughlin. Secondary part of the question. The first one probably has to do with Mandalorian. I would like to know of a good reflective gunmetal to use for the armor. So I'm going to guess this is for the Mandalorian armor. It could be, well, it's not Phantom. She's got a really chrome armor. The best choice. Okay, if you want a really good, did you say reflective? Yeah. If you want a really good reflective gunmetal color, it almost doesn't matter which gunmetal color you're using. It sounds fishy, but the undercoat you want to have as the base that you're working off of, the undercoat. And again, it doesn't matter what material is. You want as perfect of a gloss coat black as you can get. The more mirror coat, perfect black, that's just crazy, looks wet, glossy, the better your metallic gun coat or silver coat or anything else on top of it's going to look. And it's just the way that works. There's an airbrush product called Allclad that has different grades of silver, from bright chrome on down to metallic charcoal, and every one of them starts with this black undercoat. And what I've seen with the model kits, especially with guys that have done repainting of a Gundam called Bear Guy, which is a big mechanical teddy bear, but they've repainted to be like Iron Man. They call it a candy coating, where you've done the metallic colors. It looks like it's chrome, in pictures anyway. What they actually used in the show, I can't remember the name of it, was a specialized paint that an artist had created. It runs literally about $400 a quart.
What?
Yeah. It is crazy expensive.
Well, at that point, you might as well make it out of real chrome.
Yeah, basically. But it is a flexible material. It sticks to everything. But it requires safety gear and specialized equipment to apply it. Safety like air guns. Realize I have been ignoring my Discord, my phone completely the entire time. I set up something special for my patrons and then ignore it.
I think this needle is going to be needed to be replaced, but I did sew plastic bags with it, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's been used and abused.
All right. There's more leather needles and stuff.
No, I know.
Okay.
I'm like, do I want to it's one more seam? I know I'll have an easier time if I switch the needle, but I'm not going to.
Oh, interesting.
Don't tattle.
So Starius on the Patreon, This is a potentially slightly confidential. Oh, I don't know. It was just not being said publicly in the chat. But it's a neat idea. It says, hey, Odin Makes. I have an idea. Yes, Darius. Odin, you should make a video showing how to make a Godzilla production scale destructible building. Then viewers can make some of their own and send them in to you if they want. And then you can use them all in a little film to show film short of Mechagodzilla doing what he does best.
I'm down for that. I say we make a cityscape for you to destroy.
Okay. One of the things I was looking at doing, my friend Joe Gillis wanted to do, there's a local band called the Groovy Ghoulies, wanted to do a video of Kepi Ghoulie fighting with a non-copyrighted Godzilla costume in a destructible city. And so we talked about how to go about making that set. And my thought was to take the drop ceiling tiles and if you were to cut the windows into those and maybe do some scoring on the back so they break a little bit easier, then they should break apart fairly well.
Then you would have concrete.
You have concrete, yeah. And then depending on which side you have out, you have like a heavy stucco building or you have a more of a finer concrete type building. And there's a thing called Fuller's Earth, which is basically powdered clay. And it's a weird, I don't know how to get a hold of it anywhere outside of like a Hollywood catalog, but it's what they use for dust on set. And it comes in dirt colors and concrete colors and everything else. You can just use talc powder as well. And in our case, I'll probably just use baby powder or talcum powder because that'll give the little white puffs of smoke when stuff gets destroyed, right? So you just get like a powder sugar sifter. You probably use powder sugar too. And
that'd be sticky.
That'd be sticky, right?
Do you want ants?
No.
That's how you
no,
get
I
ants.
don't. Okay. What is this? A city made for ants? Yeah, here they come. But it'd be a way of distributing it. Anyway, so yeah, that's a thought. Shipping would be interesting. You might have to flat pack them.
Right?
Gamer X, are you sure it's live? No, it's not actually. There is a delay, Gamer X, between what I'm saying right now until you actually hear it. Because the signal has to be collected by the camera, squeezed through a bunch of equipment, shot off to space, and then it comes on back down where you can actually see it as it's decoded on your equipment. And all that takes a few seconds. On my end, I've got a little viewer window, and I can see what the delay is, and it's 15 seconds.
So live-ish.
Ish. It is live. We're actually live doing it to the camera, but there is a slight delay due to electronic processes before you actually get to see it. So you're not seeing it moment for moment live like you're in the room, but you're seeing it from,
We don't work on this project outside of this, so you're seeing all of this live.
You're seeing all this live. There you go. Yeah.
So, 'tis what it is.
William Lee Pratt says, I'd send you a building.
Okay, so if guys want to send me a building, that's great. I can go.
So we're going to smash up a city?
We might be smashing up a city. Just gonna. There it goes. So at the moment, while we're talking, here's a keyboard. I am going to alter the description to Odin Makes P.O. Box 874 Orangevale, California 95662-0874. No. It didn't like the hyphen. Didn't let me. There it is. And I got a typo. That's got a B in Orangevale, which I don't remember there having a B in there.
Orangevale.
Yeah, Orangevale. There we are. And save. Alrighty. So in the description is my P.O. box, where if you want to make a destructible building, or if you want to send anything else, viewer mail, package, hello, stuff like that to me, or Felicia, or Joe, you are welcome to use that address. Send it to us. Make sure it says Odin something on it, but if you want to be care of Felicia, feel free to write that down. And we'll open it up on a live stream. And if some of you want to send something that we really aren't going to share on a live stream because that would be inappropriate, just know that we'll laugh at it, close it up, not show it to camera, and let everyone know that it's inappropriate for camera. But yeah, that's... And please don't send us anthrax. I don't need any of that. Unless you want to send me the old cassette tapes, because Anthrax wasn't so bad in high school. Because they were a band.
I was going to say. Where's the other scissors? I like them better. They're there.
Malicious Dolphin. I'm working on a Judge Dredd mixed with Deadpool costume. What material would you recommend for a sturdy helmet?
Fun foam? Craft foam?
For a sturdy helmet.
For a sturdy... Oh, for one that's actually...
Yeah, for a sturdy helmet. Fun foam, craft foam would be great for a... If you've got a pattern and you want to make sure that you're going to be able to make this out of some other foam, yeah, get fun foam or craft foam because it's $1 a sheet. And you're not going to be wasting quote-unquote good stuff on a test run to make sure that it fits and stuff like that. So what would I recommend? I heavily lean towards foam. That's why we're here, right? Kind of. So to answer the foam thing, probably What the Foam. 4mm What the Foam.
That stuff's pretty darn sturdy.
It's pretty darn sturdy. I think 6mm What the Foam would be overkill. It's really would be really hard to get that to get the shapes. 4mm What the Foam is still going to be hard to get the shapes because it's actually going to put up some resistance.
Heat is your friend.
Heat is your friend, absolutely, as well as a planishing stake. And then that one's black to begin with. Judge Dredd and Deadpool have a lot of red in it. So if you want to use the 2mm What the Foam, which is naturally red, you can, because that's not a color combination that would be competing with something like white. I think that would probably give you the sturdiest out of the foams. Warbler would certainly work, but I think you would need something to work the Warbler on top of.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point because Warbler is great.
Is great, but it almost needs a positive to be worked on top of.
Yeah, I think I completely agree because when I worked that on top of the bra,
Right.
because I had done the whole female superhero out of it.
Right.
And having no base on most of it, you could tell, but when I had actually support, because I put a bra in the thing, it went over so nicely.
Oh, yeah.
It just, having that little bit of support and something under it made a big difference. So I could see, for a helmet, I would definitely have some kind of
like build it on top of the Dawn Post, like Boba Fett helmet and modify it.
Yeah.
Which you might be able to do, but not really, because the profile's still different. Even though you don't need the face for Judge Dredd versus Boba Fett, the curve of the top of the helmet is different between Fett and Dredd. So yeah.
Yeah, but a good point.
3D printing, of course, is a great way to go. Yeah. How's that? HD foam would also work really well. That is much more affordable than What the Foam, and you'd still do it out of like 4 or 6mm HD What the Foam. That's I just mixed the two of them together. HD foam. That's like what I did for Bo-Katan. This is all just HD foam, which is the stuff you get at Blickart from either online or directly in the stores. And this is very easy to work with, and I'm happy with it. But it's not 501st Infantry, the Star Wars. They don't like the foam helmets because they're too flexible. This still isn't a solid helmet, right? What was the word you used?
He said solid?
No, he didn't say solid. Durable, I think is what he said.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if you want to classify this as durable because this can be damaged. It's foam. I've got paint and stuff all over it. It's got a good, healthy skin on it. But if you whack it with something, you can put dents in it, and you're going to gouge it.
But this covered in Warbler?
Yeah, you could make a form with this stuff and then cover it with Warbler. And then whether or not you keep the foam in it doesn't matter. That would totally work.
Because then you'd have a hard shell.
You have a hard shell.
That would be durable. As long as you're not hanging out next to the heater.
Right.
Because then you'd totally be melting.
Warbler softens with just a hairdryer.
Right?
So Warbler is not a material to leave in your car.
I've melted so many plastic rulers. That way.
I know.
Durable.
Going back to the 80s, you get these pretzel cassette tapes left on the dash. Durable becomes a fun thing. I mean, if you want to do it legit,
Define durable.
then you're making some sort of a positive or negative and doing it out of fiberglass. The other thing that William Shakespeare and William Shakespeare's Props has done, and I heard Evil Ted talk about trying to do, and that is build up of EVA foam shape for vacuum forming.
And I think that could be doable for a Judge Dredd helmet as well. Because I think it's not perfectly smooth around the back, right? There's some sort of a headband. So you could do the top portion of it, you could do the back portion of it, and then it's just an eye plate so you can see the frowny face. Well, they're not all frown face, but Dredd does and Stallone does. I can't do it. Yeah, so, how's that? Do you want more spitballing, brainstorming? Is that enough of a wishy-washy, all over the place answer? It's 2:00.
And I think we're at a good spot to stop because I have these all sewn together, and then next week I can do the top stitching
Okay.
that we saw.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I will press these when we're not on camera, just because that's just
Right.
boring.
Boring.
Ironing.
Ironing.
Like, this is entertaining watching me trim the seam allowance, but
So all of a sudden, the idea of ironing on camera, for whatever reason, that immediately makes me think of older sitcoms. And yes, to answer a question that came up a long time ago for someone who may not be watching anymore, I am very excited about WandaVision, and I'm totally going to be watching that this Friday.
That comes out this Friday?
That comes out this Friday.
Oh.
The first episode is going to be this Friday, the 15th, and it should be every Friday thereafter till it's finished. And yeah.
yay. This is slowly coming together.
Right. So what am I doing this week? I don't know. What am I doing next week? I'm going to be paying attention to WandaVision and trying to see if something's there. I'm not sure, because the cool thing they're doing is setting each episode in a different era for sitcoms. So the first one's going to be mostly black and white. It's going to be, Lucille Ball-ish. I don't know. Maybe it's not. It's whatever it is. But I don't know if there's going to be an immediate. Oh, that's the prop. So but I think there is an ironing board in the TV spot, the trailer for it, which is what the whole memory came about for. So. Yeah, WandaVision's going to happen. I'm going to watch all the Marvel shows. I've enjoyed all the Marvel movies. There's no reason for me to not watch all the Marvel shows.
Okay, I think we're at a good spot.
We're at a good spot?
We're at a good spot, and I don't mind ironing next
You
week
made a
on
menu.
camera. Made a menu.
I think I'll have a plate of chainmail with a side of vinyl. What are you going to have?
I'll have it all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's slowly happening.
It's slowly happening.
We have the girdles started. We're going to
Right.
have to finish the edges.
Oh,
do
yeah.
some top stitching in between here and here.
So we're going to have to make sure that I've got cameras better set up for sewing next week.
I suppose.
Well.
Yeah. We only sewed 4 seams today, which is not that bad.
Yeah, but we actually have pieces. We made progress today. I helped. I painted glue, but
yeah, no, we're gonna have the girdle. It's just needs to be pressed so that it lays flat, and then we're gonna do the top stitching with it.
right.
And then
So the top stitching, for those who don't know for sure, that's where you can visibly see the stitch. It's like on your jeans. Okay.
it's where you see the stitching on top, and then it laces on the sides. So we're gonna do some small grommets.
Small grommets. How small?
Well, we still have the black ones, and we still have the little eyelet ones. So just,
Right. And still have the other slightly longer, but not long enough ones that I ordered that are.
No, those are too big.
Those are too big. Okay.
Yeah, I would just do the small size on this one because
Okay.
I do a lot of smaller ones as opposed to a few bigger ones because you don't want it pulling in a
Right.
couple big spaces. You'd rather pull it on a lot of little
Little-
spaces.
wow.
And so this one I would do smaller eyelet holes,
Okay.
grommet holes,
Right.
all the way down the side.
Both. I use them interchangeably. I understand.
So
Could be wrong to use them interchangeably, but I do.
yeah, and then technically we don't need to line this, but I have some black stretch knit at home,
Oh, okay.
so I might just
It might be nice.
take this shape because I could do the individual pieces, but I could also just do this shape, cut it out, stitch it, flip
Right.
it, and tack it down.
Did we? Now you talked about it. On the edge here, on the other side, you've got the nicks that you're cutting out.
Oh yeah.
Did we really talk on camera about what the I was trying to go. It was close. What these were?
I kind of went over it just a little bit.
A little bit?
I cut little pie wedges out.
Right, the cameras over there.
Oh, there we go.
And you want to, yeah.
Back
There you
here.
are.
I cut out little pie wedges right where it curves because right at he has a little bit of an hourglass, so there's a curve right here. And if it was straight, it would lay flat, but because it's not straight, it doesn't want to, and when you start to curl it,
We start to lay it flat.
these all start to come back together, and see those little pie wedge shapes that we cut out start to fill in that space as
Right. Because it's causing it to curve, to create a compound curve.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't let it lay flat. It would make
Yeah.
it wrinkle or bunch or be weird.
Yeah, and then I also kind of trimmed the vinyl, not as much because it's more flexible than the foam, and it's
Okay.
what's holding us together. But I also still trimmed that because that one, it will fold much nicer if we have that trimmed down. And I tried to stagger the wedges so that they aren't all lined up, so that the wedges
Gotcha.
are
Oh, so you don't have a weak point.
exactly.
Okay.
And you cut two, but not through your stitching line. So you're cutting right up to your stitching line, so you don't want them all cut up right at the same spot. But if they're all kind of staggered,
Okay.
little things, it makes a
So,
difference.
staggering, making them a little bit organic, helps to hide overall the...
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
It doesn't weaken it in one spot versus the other, and then also the bulk gets trimmed down. And then I also pulled out some of the little loops that got in there, just trimmed them out a little bit.
Right, because they're glued in, so...
Yeah, it's just debulking the seam as much as we can, but keeping it
Okay.
sewn and up to the 1/4 inch. Just trim. Anyways, but that's what I did here, was notching the edge.
Which you also need to do just for general fabric.
Yes,
Yeah.
it makes fabric go so nicely that, and that's just lightweight. Fabrics make
Right.
things move.
Okay.
This is like a thick, heavy foam.
Right.
You're not going to get it to lay flat without some wedges chopped out of there. And I trimmed on this side as close to the seam allowance as I could.
Oh, I see on the... Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if the...
three. Oh yeah, I can't.
No, it's not, it doesn't
It's-
autofocus, so...
No, it doesn't. It's here.
Yeah, the
but
focus plane's back here.
I trimmed it down so that it was just a little bit higher than the thing, just so that the foam doesn't bulk up the seam allowance too much either.
Cool.
Yeah, but it's so nicely. I was so relieved. It didn't
I understand.
perforate it. It didn't like make it so that it's easily tearable. It's like holding nicely.
I understand. It's one of those things. I should be able to do this, and you worry about it until you do it, because you haven't
Technically,
done
it should work, but I haven't done it, and I've had things like this not work. But
Right.
believe it or not, I like using bleach bottles.
You mentioned that for costumes.
Yeah, for like this purpose. When I didn't have foam,
Right.
bleach bottles can go through the laundry.
Right.
Yeah, so we used to do like pirate cups
The
and
cups.
stuff.
Okay.
We would interface those with the bleach bottles as opposed to fabric or other things, because it could take the abuse.
Right.
Was easily, you can cut through it and you can sew through bleach bottles.
Okay.
You could run a bleach bottle through the sewing machine. I don't know. I like the plastic in bleach bottles.
Okay.
But yeah.
I wonder how hard. Wonder how hard it'd be to get that type of bottle out. I mean, bleach is pretty cheap.
Right.
You do something with the bleach.
Well, I worked at a costume shop and we were constantly doing laundry, so there was always bleach
There was
bottles.
always bleach bottles around. That's
So
true.
there was always the big giant things of bleach bottles, and
Right.
yeah, of course.
Right.
What you have access to, right?
Exactly. Use the materials you have access to, like barking.
Bruno?
Well, I think Bruno's letting us know that we're 10 minutes over. Sorry, I didn't really interact with Discord that much today. I totally forgot. I'm trying to get the Mechagodzilla done, and I was right up against the line here with getting on air, but made it. Mechagodzilla's happening. We made it to air with this. I keep calling it air because I'm a little broadcast head, and
It says on air.
it does say on air over there in the machine.
There is air visibly readable. So
Visibly readable somewhere, even though the signal isn't being sent through the air. This is cool. So, again, thank you for spending your Monday afternoon with
I
me.
am curious, what is Mr. Sean Fleming's question that we haven't been answering? All I see is that we haven't answered it. Please answer my question. Please answer it. But what was it?
Yeah, I saw that too, and I looked over a few times, and I'm not watching the chat 100% because I'm trying to do stuff on the table, trying to talk to Felicia and trying to talk to the camera. So
we're saying answer my question, please, but we're not saying your question.
Yeah,
So
we're not
if
saying
you
your question,
can't just
no.
repeat the question, that'd be helpful. Because now I want to know what it is so we can answer. But
I'm seeing people trying to help each other. Pepakura file. I think this is for the Judge Dredd thing.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's totally cool. Artman 2019. And Odin should say, and this is how Odin rants.
Right?
Right? So, I don't talk this much in life.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
A little bit.
Fine. So I'm looking,
Toby, Bruno, no.
super awesome, bro. Y'all siblings? No.
Nope.
Nope. We met working on Smosh, both behind the scenes, wardrobe and props. And no.
Yeah, no, we just work
Yeah.
together on lots of weird things.
On lots of weird things. I've known you 5 or 6 years, 7 years, 6 years, somewhere in there.
Lost track of time.
Yeah, in a
Like,
hurry.
Yeah. But
Sean Flemings. All
there we go.
right. Can I pronounce? All right. So Sean's Flemings. Can you? It's a prop request, which is
Okay.
partially probably why I never read the question out loud. I've got a concern that if I just start reading off every prop request, that's all that would happen for 2 hours. Can you make the Zacian sword and Zamazenta shield from Pokemon and the realistic Ender Pearl from Minecraft?
Maybe.
Maybe.
What does a realistic Ender Pearl look like?
What is a realistic? So Joe wants to know, what does a realistic Ender Pearl look like? Mysterio's helmet.
That would just be, what, pixelated?
Right. Coming from somebody who has cosplayed as Minecraft.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. It was a mashup.
Fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dude, you were internet famous for like 15 minutes. Was that BlizzCon 2011?
Yes, 2011.
BlizzCon 2011, when you had the Minecraft and
Judgment armor for from World of Warcraft.
in Judgment armor from World of Warcraft. I was going to use Spectre or something, but anyway, it walks out on stage, can't see, and slips and falls on stage. But it got on lots of viral videos and news media because he popped right back up with the help of the host and raised his arms and went on and did his thing. So
There's some resilience.
that's Joe, yeah. And that was a cardboard cosplay with fabric on top of it.
Yep.
Yep.
Very durable.
Very durable.
Not a single injury.
Yep, awesome. Well, stuntmen fall on cardboard boxes. That makes sense. Not a single injury.
Yeah, but speaking of which, I think that maybe once the switcher builds those, before we do our next build,
Yeah.
we just read everybody's requests.
Okay.
Tell us what you want.
Right.
We'll go through. We'll
Okay.
read them for an hour.
We'll do that.
If you guys want. It's
Right.
a thought.
I've been trying to get a laptop set up so we could have like dueling chat windows because it's hard for whoever's on the side away from the computer to be able to read the computer. So if we have a monitor on both sides, we could probably both more tag team the comments.
Yeah, I've been letting you do that today, Davin.
Right, well, that's fine. Dan Doug Junk says, "Hello, Bruno Butt." Yep. Hi, Bruno Butt. So with Bruno Butt, we should actually full on
Now
say,
he's like, we're friends.
thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for all of your comments, all of your suggestions. Thank you for any teasing you might have given that I missed out on. And it's always enjoyable for, I believe, both of us
Yes.
to spend our Monday afternoons with you. And we're going to be right back here next Monday. Hopefully we'll see you there. It's going to be from noon to 2 hour time. Please adjust for your locality. And, this is how Felicia makes and Odin rants. And Bruno's got a butt.
It's a cute butt.
It's a cute butt.
Hey, cute butt. How are you? You good?